It's Lost in My 40s, season 2, episode 18. It's called Dave. It's a Hurley episode and it's a Ben episode. And this week we take some hydroxychloroquine, go overboard with Christy, and get pissed about Ranch in the Trees. All right, so we're back from the last few, like we had pre-recorded, so our lives, things have happened in them. And politics is a little crazy though. Biden's approval rating is up. Trump world is like getting indicted. Dems' chances are looking up. None of it I'm excited about. None of it.
Yeah, don't get your hopes up at this point.
All right. So we had advertised previously we were going to have a new podcast and to react to Rings of Power, and we did, in fact. We recorded the first episode. The whole thing was a little chaotic, and here's the explanation. First, it was supposed to be us and our friends at Lost the Plot, Dave and Ado. They ended up not being able to do the full commitment. They committed to it a long time ago. So we revamped the whole thing, got like 13 people involved. There was going to be a whole bunch of us who were going to do it. And then something crazy happened to Ben, and we couldn't do the time commitment, and so that's where it went. We're going to revisit it in season 2, maybe do a recap and keep going, who knows. But yeah, Ben wanted to talk about what happened, so go ahead.
I got the cancer.
The
cancer, yeah. I went in for an MRI for a possible hip surgery, and they ended up finding cancer in some of my bones in my midsection. So now I'm just going through and doing tests and trying to figure out where it came from, how long it's been around, and what to do next.
So it's been a long week.
Yeah,
it's been
a long week.
Like 9 days that we've had this information, and that's all the information we have. There's still diagnostics and stuff, but the Rings of Power was going to be a commitment because we were going to have to watch every Friday and record every Saturday, push it out as fast as possible, and we didn't want to get halfway through it and have to give up. It just made sense. We got the news the day the show came out, same day, that morning. So it was too much. We will revisit it. The future is uncertain as of right now. But we're going to keep going with Lost in My 40s until we say otherwise. So
luckily the show itself has been good. Like the Rings of Power.
I've liked it.
It's been enjoyable. Yeah.
I'm sad that we didn't get to do it. There was so much in the comments from like the trolls, the like anti-woke bros or whatever. I toyed with them a little bit. It was kind of fun. You know how I like to be in the comments, just, anyways.
There ain't no black elves.
I know. I don't know. Like, whatever. I don't care.
It's a fantasy world. They could be fucking blue elves. Who cares? Like, what?
I just section is always such a cesspool.
Yeah, but anyways, I think it would have been fun. It would have been fun, and like I said, we'll revisit it. But that's where we are right now. So, who's ready for a joke?
Yes.
Okay.
Sure.
It's a joke from Bo Burnham. I'm going to give credit. That's what I found on the internet. It's a quote from him, I guess from some stand-up. And he says, "My aunt's star sign was Cancer, which is pretty ironic how she died. Eaten by a giant crab." I thought that was funny. And also, are you watching House of Dragon, the new Game of Thrones?
House of the Dragon.
House of the Dragon?
No, there's a tie-in. There's a tie-in there.
Yeah, they got some crab eating people in that, actually, or people eating crabs.
Yes,
yeah, so I thought that was timely too when I read it. Anyways, all right.
Those are not the Chesapeake Bay blue crab.
No, they're in Westeros. I think.
Yeah, they're fantasy crabs. They're like the black elves. They're just
or Valeria is where they are, I guess.
Just being a Maryland person, I have to bring up our crabs anytime crabs are brought up because
did you want people to
superior.
Know you
about your crabs?
I have to generally. I keep when I've got the crabs I keep to myself. I try not to share that.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. Yeah. So last week's episode was Lockdown, and Christy used the word oily bohunk in the episode, and I just wanted to make sure that everyone knows that's a real word from Generation X. You can find it in 16 Candles, which I haven't watched in a long time, and I have a feeling I would probably cringe at a lot of it.
Oh my God.
Now,
It's so
I don't
bad.
think it doesn't hold up.
So
It's
bad.
from another culture, but it's still, that's where oily bohunk comes from. And what it means, you said it, Christy, in reference to Sawyer. And basically what it means is like a hot, sexy guy who's kind of dumb and good for hookups, but not much else. I don't think Sawyer's dumb, but the rest I could see.
I mean, in 16 Candles, it was kind of referring to the older sister's future husband, and they're
Right,
like, oh,
yeah,
he's
I
a
remember.
really bohunk. And he was just kind of like a dick.
Mhm.
But you know, he had money, and so she was like, I'm gonna marry him, whatever.
Oh, that's a very 80s message. All right. Okay, yeah. So also, last week Helen was reading obituaries because she said that nobody ever says anything bad in an obituary. And so I looked up scathing obituary, and I found one from this summer that apparently went viral in July. It was published on the 4th. It's the obituary for Lawrence H. Pfaff, I think it's spelled Pfaff, Senior. And here it goes. Lawrence H. Pfaff Sr. was born in Belmont, New York on April 14, 1941. He passed away on June 27, 2022, living a long life, much longer than he deserved. He is survived by his 3 children, 5 children. Well, as of 2022, we believe there is one more that we know about, but there could be more. His love was abundant when it came to himself, but for his children, it was limited. From a young age, he was a ladies' man and an abusive alcoholic, solidifying his commitment to both with the path of destruction he left behind, damaging his adult children and leaving them broken. Lawrence Sr.'s hobbies included abusing his first wife and children. He loved to start projects, but never followed through on any of them. He enjoyed the life of a barfly for many years and had a quaint little living space studio above his favorite hole in the wall, the Club Nashville. Lawrence Sr. did spend over 20 years in the NYPD, but even his time in service was negligent at best because of his alcoholic addiction. His commanding officer took away his gun and badge, replacing them with a broom until he could get his act together. Lawrence Sr. did claim to be clean and sober for over 30 years, but never worked any of the 12 steps, including the 8th and 9th steps with his children, making amends. He possesses no redeeming qualities for his children, including the ones he knew and the ones he knew about. It will be challenging to miss Lawrence Sr. because he was narcissistic. He was incapable of love. Lawrence Sr.'s passing proves that evil does eventually die, and it marks a time of healing, which will allow his children to get the closure they deserve. Lawrence Sr. can be remembered for being a father to many and a dad to none.
Nice.
Damn.
Wow, that is, yeah.
So just saying it's possible. If you need to do that, you go right ahead. All right. This
I hope
week.
it's cathartic for whoever wrote that.
Yeah. Oh, I've almost forgot. In one of these past 3 weeks, we talked about names, and Derek brought up a Benjamin Dover from Dallas, who was like a news guy.
Mm-hmm.
So I looked him up. That's not his given name. He took that name. His name, he was born Lance David Blumen. He chose to change his name to Benjamin Dover. I guess the guy's like fucking hilarious or something, or weird. I don't know. I like that. I don't know. I find it funny. But anyways, I thought I would tell you guys that because we kind of gave his parents shit, and now I feel bad.
Yeah.
Because they didn't name him Benjamin Dover. All right. Tomorrow, episode 18 of Lost. It's called Dave. It's a Hurley episode, so we know it's going to be good. And it's a Ben episode, so we know it's going to be good. All right. And in this week's episode, we learned that Hurley spent time in a mental hospital. So the question I was going to ask this week is like, when have you struggled with mental health? Or like, what kind of issues have you ever had with it? Or ones you're comfortable talking about, obviously. I'm pretty open about being nuts. I talk about it in this week's episode. So I don't know. Christy, what do you think?
I never really fully understood the term triggered until the Kavanaugh hearings. And then I became very triggered. And
it happened to a lot of women.
Yeah, that was a hard time for me. For reasons. And now I get what triggered means. And I don't think it was too long after that I finally started therapy for the first time in my life.
Yeah, triggered is like an actual term used in mental health, but it's used differently in, politics or whatever. But yeah, it actually.
But for my it mentally triggered me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it was, and then I was like, okay, I get it.
Yeah. Wow. Derek, what about you?
After my beating, I had issues of like trusting people or anything. Like I couldn't even let people get behind me, or I'd, if I was in a room and there's a loud noise, it would, make me jump.
Yeah, that's right. That's gone away over time.
Yeah.
Mostly.
Yeah.
That's good. Ben, how about you?
I mean, I've been
like right now.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see.
Stupid after I asked you.
There's a cancer diagnosis, so there's all sorts of weird shit that's going through my head that I have to deal with. But no, I've been doing in and out of therapy for years now, mostly for things related to like sort of in the way that I was raised. There's a lot of shame and defensiveness and sort of passive aggressive learned behaviors that I've been trying to address, some more successfully than others over the last few years.
Well, yeah, that's how it goes. Yeah, I'm the only one of the four of us. Well, guys, me and Hurley have both been to the mental hospital for different reasons. But I talk about it in this week's episode, and I talk about it all the time because I don't think there's shame in talking about your mental health. I think the people who should be ashamed are the ones who don't get help.
Everyone in this country everyone probably in the world could use a little bit of therapy.
Yeah, or maybe some medication.
Yeah, and people who say, no, I'm fine, are probably the least fine.
Yeah, exactly.
In this episode, I talked about switching from Wellbutrin to Zoloft.
Oh, and how's it going?
In that, I was on Zoloft for 6 weeks. It was not good.
Ooh, uh-oh.
It was not good for me.
Antidepressants are like that. You never know until you take
it. And
everybody.
I did not become suicidal, but I knew that I was not in a very good place. And I contacted the doctor who prescribed it. And I was like, here's what's going on. I can't continue to use this drug.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay, we're going to switch you back to Wellbutrin. Here's what you're going to do. And if you become suicidal, let me know. And I'm like, I don't think I'm there. And I've been very communicative with my husband about where my mental health was at that point. So
that's good.
I think I handled it pretty well, but 6 weeks on Zoloft and I was not in a good place.
Yeah, I've been there too, where the medication's just not right or something. And
there's no shame in saying this is not working.
Yeah.
Shall we do something more fun? If you could choose to be immortal, would you do it? Ben.
Timely question.
Kind of.
I don't know.
I didn't even plan it that way.
No, I don't think so. I think there's no. I think the spice of life is kind of part of it. It's the fact that it's short. The fact that there is a beginning and an end is the reason why it's worth taking in. Something tells me that if you just lived forever, it would. I don't think we're meant to. I don't think our souls or whatever. Not even souls. I don't feel like that's for me. Let me just put it that way.
Yeah, I said with stipulations. If I was immortal like an elf or a vampire, there were still ways to kill me or for me to kill myself, then yes, because my curiosity of seeing the future and being able to experience it longer than this short period of time then yes, I would do it. But if I had no way out, no, that's fucking scary. Like if I was immortal regardless, then yeah, I think I couldn't do that.
If I wanted to see the future, like I think of a more sci-fi way to, but like if I could go
like a
go in orbit of a black hole for, you know, for a few weeks and then come back and then be like thousands of years later, like, okay, that's cool. I would actually take that opportunity, but just living that long, no.
Yeah. Okay. Derek, what do you think?
Same as you. If there was a way that I could opt out, you know, when the time came.
Yeah. When I got
tired, I don't know how the world might become shit in the future instead of, you know, glorious. It might be like idiocracy in 500 years, and I wouldn't want to live in that.
I mean, I think we're there right now.
Pretty much, yeah. It's accelerated.
I like money.
Yeah. Where's your tattoo?
Do you feel the same? Do you feel the same? Like if there was a way out, maybe longer, but
I do feel the same. If there's a way out, then I could go with that. My husband Caleb has always wanted to be able to be immortal. So if he was there, then I would want to be there with him.
Yeah, sure.
But I also kind of understand Ben's take on everything, because it's like, I don't want to, like, I don't know, see, like, I would think that there would be a sadness to it.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, of course there would be.
Everyone you know is dead and has been dead, and like you'll meet new people, and you know, like.
But you know that they're going to die before you do as well.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you'll be around other immortals. I guess, that also depends. Like if I'm like the fucking Highlander or something like that, I can see where
there can only be one.
I'm like the only, that could be sad. I guess I'm picturing again, like I said, like elves or vampires. You'd have a immortal.
There's a way out.
Well.
And
there's a way out. Yeah. Anyway,
it's like trapdoor immortality or contingent immortality.
Right. If there's no way out, I could see how you would just go mad eventually.
I don't want that ever.
Plus, there's a ton of questions I have about that. Like with immortality, do you age at all? Like, or do you just reach, like, once you get to some certain age, do you just stop like a vampire, or like
the elves, I mean, if you're talking like Lord of the Rings, they all look like they're in their 20s or 30s, I guess, right?
Yeah. I mean, I could almost see it, like if I could almost like almost be like a cicada or something like that, where like I come out, I age, whatever, and then I just go lay in the ground for 50 years or whatever, and then I come back and I age again. I could almost see it like that, because at least you'd get a fucking break from reality every lifetime, right? Like the idea of never being able to just check out. Oh, that's terrifying to me.
Still sleep when you're immortal. I don't mean you're awake for eternity.
I get that. Can you imagine having to have a day job for the rest of eternity?
Oh no.
Oh, like
compound interest would help you there. You wouldn't have to work.
There you go.
Oh my God.
It just seems like such a punishment to just like be a worker drone. Forever and ever and ever and ever.
I suppose you could game the system and say, hey, I'm over 65, and and just collect unemployment.
Yeah, or Social Security for the next 10,000 years.
Exactly.
Or you could just be Paul Rudd.
I know, right?
Never age. All right, we are moving on. Okay. I just wanted to say, like, including YouTube views and stuff, we're over 8,000 downloads now. So I'm excited about that. And we still have one very loyal fan in Baghdad. And I like to sometimes pretend it's Saeed, but it's probably not.
It's probably not.
I'm happy about our one loyal fan in Baghdad. They just always downloading our episodes. It's fun. All right, awesome. Listen. Next Tuesday, September 20th, it's going to be the end of summer. We'll be back here with another pre-show. Tomorrow, we take some hydroxychloroquine, go overboard with Christy, and get pissed about Ranch in the Trees. It's called Dave, and it's a Hurley and Ben episode. And we'll see you then. All right.